So, on August 7th, 2025, OpenAI dropped GPT-5, and whoa, the claims were bigger than ever. We're going to break down what's new, what's actually real, and what all of this could mean for what comes next. All right, let's get into it.
Right out of the gate, OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, made it super clear. This isn't just another update. He basically said, this is a generational leap in how smart these things are. The promise isn't just a clever assistant anymore. It's a PhD-level expert you can call on anytime.
And really, this release is just the latest stop on what has been a ridiculously fast journey. I mean, think about it. From the very first GPT model back in 2018 to today, the speed of progress has been absolutely wild. Each version builds on the last, and that's how we got here. So, what's the secret sauce? What is the big technical leap that's powering this new PhD expert? Well, it really comes down to a whole new way the model, thinks.
The magic here is something they're calling a real-time router. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like an automatic gear shifter for the AI's brain. When you ask it something, it instantly figures out how tough the question is and shifts gears. It can fire back a quick simple answer, or it can kick into a much deeper, more powerful mode for the really heavy lifting.
And the crazy part is, for you, the user, this all happens completely behind the curtain. You just type your question, and in the background, this router is analyzing, routing, and assigning the perfect amount of brain power. So what's the bottom line? You don't have to choose between a fast model and a smart model anymore. The system just picks the right tool for the job every single time.
Of course, a big launch needs some dazzling demos, right? And the GPT-5 event was packed with examples meant to show off what this new thinking ability could really do. And some of them were pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, a lot of the buzz was all about this idea they're calling vibe coding. This has been the dream for a while now, right? The idea that you can just describe the vibe of an application you want, and the AI just builds it for you. And look, the demos were seriously impressive. We watched it build a working French learning app just from a description. It even had a little game with a mouse and cheese to help you practice. Then, just from a simple text prompt, it created this detailed 3D simulation of the Titanic sinking, all in a matter of minutes.
Okay, but let's pull back for a second, because here comes the reality check. There's this huge gap between that flashy, almost magical potential and how most people are actually using these tools in their day-to-day work.
Research from IBM shows us this gap pretty clearly. Now, there's a lot going on in these charts, but the story is simple. On the left, you see what we're doing now. Stuff like, summarizing text, improving our writing. Basic things. But on the right, you see what we want to do. And that desire for full-on automation, for the AI to just do the whole task for us, it just skyrockets. That gap is everything. And that gap between what we do today and what we want AI to do tomorrow, it leads us straight to the biggest, most heated question of all. What is this going to do to our jobs? The whole debate really splits into two big arguments. On one hand, you've got the pure efficiency argument. It says, hey, if this tool makes every worker more efficient, a company can get the same work done with fewer people. But then there's the other side, which points out that these tools still make a lot of mistakes. They produce what people are calling AI slop. And you need a skilled human to spot that slop and fix it, which makes AI more of a powerful assistant than a full-on replacement. But those efficiency gains, they are not just talk. You can actually measure them. On a test using PhD-level science questions, you can see the jump. Look at these numbers. GPT-5 Pro is hitting almost 90% accuracy. I mean, that's a huge leap from the 70% we saw with its predecessor, GPT-4o. That is a real, measurable increase in reasoning power.
And this really echoes what we're hearing from people on the front lines. This comment from a software engineer on Reddit really nails that tool for experts argument. The thinking is that AI is like search on steroids. It makes skilled people way faster, but it won't save someone who doesn't know what they're doing in the first place. So, with all this new power, this new potential, where exactly are we heading? Are we finally knocking on the door of true artificial general intelligence? Or are we starting to hit a wall? OpenAI itself calls GPT-5 a significant step on the path to AGI. And for them, AGI means a system that can do most of the valuable work better than humans.
But, and this is important, even they are pumping the brakes a little. Sam Altman himself points out a pretty big piece that's still missing. He says GPT-5 doesn't learn continuously from its interactions with the world. It's trained, then it's done. It doesn't grow and adapt on its own, which a lot of people feel is a must-have for true general intelligence.
And it's not just about what GPT-5 can't do. Some folks in the field are starting to worry that we're hitting a wall, that we're getting less and less improvement for our effort. The argument is that just making models bigger isn't the magic bullet it used to be. The cost to train them is insane. We're literally running out of good human-made data to feed them. And we're seeing the scary risk of models training on their own messy output, which could just make them worse over time.
So, look, GPT-5 puts us at this incredible turning point. The tech is undeniably powerful, and it's getting more powerful by the day. The question isn't if AI is going to be a part of our lives anymore. The real question, the one GPT-5 forces all us to ask, is what role do we want it to play? Is it a tool we control, or is it a new kind of collaborator that's going to change the very way we think? That's the real story to watch.